Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Athena Rodney, CEO and founder of Juneteenth NYC, and Habara Ghani, everyone. Habara Ghani. Today's principle is Ujamaa, and Ujamaa means what? Can anybody think about what Ujamaa means? We've talked about a couple of different things from unity, defining ourselves. Yesterday was collective work. Today, Ujamaa is the big one, the one that everybody talks about, and that is economics, our money, how much our money circulates in our community, cooperative economics, y'all. Whew, this is gonna be a good one. We're gonna talk about Ujamaa collective economics. So I think I was sharing earlier this week about collective economics, and one of the things that we're working on is a land trust for Ghana, where a group of individuals will be putting money together, and then we're going to purchase property over in Ghana. We're going to build out an educational forum where people will learn how to be virtual assistants there, and then they'll be able to work with us here in the States. That is something that we have been working on. And it's not just about being a virtual assistant, but being able to build their own skills. Like the work that we're doing is something that's going to be able to help their entire community. So a lot of them, food infrastructure, housing infrastructure, being able to have the supports there. So almost creating it like a kind of school system is something, and this is something that we've talked with them about that they want. It's not something that we're imposing. This is not like another level of kind of slavery, but this is something where we're helping them to also build. They have their products, things that they sell that they want to connect with businesses here in the United States, so that we can help them to grow their livelihood, pour back into the community that most of us came from, right? So looking forward to being able to do that, and just wanted to start that off by just saying that. So what exactly is Ujamaa? So Ujamaa is about, we don't just earn money, we use it with intention. And funny enough, that is all I've been doing during this break, is really understanding what monies I have coming in, what bills I have, and being intentional. I took a workshop, a class, and I don't know if I have the book here, but one of the things that it says is every dollar should have a role, like it should be assigned to something. So it shouldn't be not even a penny that is not signed to a role, something it should be doing. And what does that mean? So if you know that you have, let's say you're getting a check for $1,000, that $1,000 should be broken down into the different places and where it needs to go. So whether it's giving your tithes, your savings account, being able to pay a bill, being able to put money towards an activity or an event that you want to do in the future, or something that you need to save for, like purchasing a house, purchasing a new car, doing renovations on a property, any of those things. So like those are all part of what that looks like, right? So intention. And I always say that intention should not just be about your money, but what do we always equate money to? And that's our time. So our money and our time, we need to be intentional about, and your money should be designated towards something for all of those things. All right. So what does Ujamaa look like in real life? Buying Black and local whenever possible. And I think I talked about this too on day one when we talked about unity. That doesn't mean just buy one time and say, hey, I did it. No, that means finding businesses that you can continually purchase from, that you can create subscriptions with. It's like, oh, I have no problem creating a subscription with this brand, like a Calendly link or with the Zoom or something like that. But let a Black business come out with something that has the same properties of that. People are like, oh, I don't know if I can afford that. It's the same amount as what you would be paying another company, and why wouldn't you be willing to pay that to a company that is internal, somebody who is doing the service that you want, right? Pooling resources, our time, talent, and our dollars. And we talked about yesterday, like, what is your talent? What exactly is it that you can bring to the table? What can you offer? How can you share that information? How can you volunteer for another business with your talents so that you can help that company, that nonprofit, to grow and to be its best self? Collaborating instead of competing. This that crabs in the barrel mentality that we always talk about. We need to be the people who are sometimes the base, right? My daughter is in cheerleading and she's a flyer, and she has to have solid bases around her to be able to lift her up. For her to feel confident being up in the air, she has to trust the people who are on her base. And a lot of times, the people who are around us, we don't trust the people on our base because they like, oh, I see them up there, they getting their coins or whatever. And it's like, oh, you know what? Let me put one hand down. Let me just see if I can hold them up with one so I can try to make money on my own or do something here on the side. And not to say that that's not happening, but I just want us to just think about what that looks like, and where trust and, again, loyalty, and I talked about yesterday also integrity, right? That's the basis of my own mentality. And not saying that you have to have that same basis, but what is your core? What are the things that are core to you, that somebody can say, nope, without a shadow of doubt, I know that that's Athenia, or that's not Athenia, or what can people say about you? So just thinking about that. Teaching financial literacy across generations. I have a whole host of individuals that I'm going to be bringing on next year, because finances definitely needs to be something that's the top of mind for us. We have to be focusing on that. And they're not all going to be on our main platform. They're going to be some internal small group sessions where we are really talking about, like, getting into the nitty gritty and understanding our finances and making changes, y'all. Like, we have to stop this whole idea that, oh, I'm just going to do willy-nilly and I'm going to rob Peter to pay Paul. Like, that's not that's not an ideal way to live. And we have to work. And I'm speaking from experience. Like, it's not ideal. And then investing in community-owned solutions, like I shared earlier, land trust or different projects that are going on out there, where we can put our money into and we can see the fruits of our labor right in front of us. And that is a big part of what cooperative economics is all about, Ujamaa. So I'm gonna to digress to a video, and then I'll come back and we'll complete the session.
I'm heading over to the community center to set up for Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa? What is that?
Kwanzaa celebrates African American community, family, and culture.
Interesting. So, is it a celebration that comes from Africa?
No, bro. Kwanzaa didn't come from any of the countries from the continent of Africa. A lot of people think it's an African Christmas, but it is not. It was introduced to America in 1966 by Dr. Malana Karenga as a way to welcome the first harvest home here in America.
So, when is Kwanzaa celebrated?
It is celebrated every year from December 26th through January 1st.
Kwanzaa's a pretty cool name. I wonder how they came up with it.
The word Kwanzaa is a key Swahili word that means the first, and it represents the first fruits of harvest.
So how do you celebrate Kwanzaa?
With Kwanzaa, there are 7 key principles that are observed during that time. Each day of Kwanzaa, it emphasizes a different principle.
7 principles, huh? That is cool. What are they?
There is Umoja, meaning unity. Kujicha Gulia, which stands for self-determination. Ujamaa, which stands for collective work and responsibility, building and maintaining our communities as brothers and sisters. Ujamaa, for building and maintaining the African American stores and businesses. Nia, which means purpose. Kuumba, meaning creativity. And Imani, meaning faith in our hearts and people.
So at Christmas time, it's Christmas trees and stuff like that. Are there any symbols for Kwanzaa?
When decorating for Kwanzaa, the main colors are red, black, and green. Just like there are 7 principles, there are 7 symbols. There is Kikombe Cha Umoja, meaning the unity cup. A Kanara, meaning the candle holder, which holds 7 candles. Mazao, meaning fruits, nuts, and vegetables, reminding those who celebrate of the harvest. Mishuma Saba, meaning the 7 candles that represent the 7 principles. Mkeka, meaning a mat which is made up of straw or African cloth. There is also the Vabunzi, meaning ear of corn, where 1 ear of corn is placed on the mkeka for every child that is at the celebration. There's also Zawadi, meaning gifts that are traditionally given on January 1st.
Man, I would have never known all the cool things and fun facts about Kwanzaa for kids. Thanks for letting me know about this African American holiday.
And I hope you had fun learning with FRESBERG cartoon.
That was cool. I hope you took. We like to make it lighthearted. While our conversations here may be more in depth, going into spaces where we can say, "Hey, pull my child, let them sit next to me and watch this, or come back to this and fast forward to it later," so that you can share with your child a little bit more about principles, and again, setting intentions, right? So we hope that you showing up here every day has been part of your setting intentions in preparation for the new year. So I wanted to also share, as I did with others, what Ujamaa is not. Ujamaa is not greed or gatekeeping, right? And what is gatekeeping? Gatekeeping is when you have information about something and you don't share it to other people. And that is absolutely not what I'm about. I'm like, if I learned it, if I was taught it, if it was put into my spirit, I need to share it with others to help them. I've done that with my balloon business. Where people were in spaces like, "Oh, girl, why are you teaching them how to do balloons? They just going to take the business and they're going to not do right by other event planners or this, that, and that." And I'm like, so guess what? You go out there and you teach them to be better. If you can't go out there and teach somebody to be better, how can you expect better to happen? And that is where I'm always in that space. I'm like, okay, I don't like the way something is going. Let me jump in. Let me see how I can help. And we should all have that mentality. Again, not that, oh, woe is me. Oh, that's them over there. Oh, because guess what? Especially in that space, right? So we have one person who is doing balloons or now even DJing, right? And we're not taking into account what they're doing. And they're going out there and they're selling their services for way below market. Then it comes to us. What happens? Then when we give them our prices, they're like, "Oh my gosh, I can get it done over here for $50." And it's like $50. The balloons cost way more than $50. So how are you getting that done for that? And so, but that's because people didn't know how to price their balloons. People don't know how to price their time, their talent, everything that they've researched and putting it into space. They just want to get the job to say that they did something. So that's where being able to jump in and not being a gatekeeper, not hustle culture that burns people out. Like I was talking about the other day, we in this grind, like I gotta do it. And that goes into that space because of that thought of laziness. We're not lazy, y'all. Like get that out of our minds. We are not lazy. I am not lazy. I am not lazy. I am doing my Father's work, and that does not mean that I need to be burnt out. And we all need to take that into consideration. Rest is resistance. I'm like that book. Whew, that taught me some stuff. So rest is resistance. Look into that, y'all. And not individual wealth without collective impact. So we're understanding what wealth really is. And wealth is not just saying, "Oh, I have $1 million," but that we all have $5,000 or $100,000 in our accounts is more what collective work looks like. So some reflections. Where does my money go and who does it help? So thinking about that for the new year, where does my money go and who is it helping? How can I support one Black-owned business this week? And again, not just one-time purchases, but longevity. What would change if we work together economically? Just think about what are the grandiose ideas. Like I have my vision board and we're going to be doing some vision boarding at the top of the year. What does that look like for you? If you could identify what working together looked like, what would that be? All right. So Ujamaa reminds us that economic choices are cultural choices, right? When we support each other's business, we strengthen families. We, again, because it's not just that one individual that's being helped, but the entire collective. We fund people's dreams and we build legacy. We help to create traditions year after year. After Ujamaa shows us how that work becomes shared wealth. So setting the stage for our next, which will be tomorrow, which is Nia and Ness Purpose. So we look forward to you joining us. We thank you, and we hope that you learned a lot about Ujamaa, cooperative economics. Have a great one, everyone. Bye.